It's hot. I want to take a shower. We are going to do a very fast Safe Act update. It's so hot today that there wasn't a cloud in the sky, but the atmosphere was raining. The water in the air rained. Now, if you ever fire a 300 Winchester Magnum on camera and put it on super duper slow motion, like slowest motion possible, you can see the bullet cutting the water in the air. And I imagine the same is for 50 caliber sniper rifles and shit. There is water in the air, and that water came down as rain. That's how hot it was today. Ugh. Sweating like a fucking pig. My last Safe Act update, I mentioned the individual who was pulled over for a traffic violation by the state police, and he had to have his handgun on the seat. Guys, handgun in the holster or in the glove compartment. Okay? Don't keep it in plain view, because it might be totally legal and some guy might get the wrong idea if he sees it. Keep it concealed. I say it all the time. Keep it concealed. This individual had his handgun, so the cop said, okay, let me see the license. If a cop catches you with a gun, he's legally allowed to check the serial number and make sure it's not stolen. Okay, because he doesn't know. So the cop was within his right to check the serial number. In New York, our licenses, our serial numbers are literally written on the back of our license. Okay, gun's legal. Give me. Open the action. Pull out the magazine. 9 rounds. Now he's under arrest. He goes to court. He went to court on May 23rd. I mentioned this in a previous video. The last video I talked about it was before the court. Prosecutor's name is Paul Kazaka. CZ. How funny is that? CZAJKA. Kazaka. Gafangu. I sound like Peanut from Jeff Dunham. Anyway, the district attorney, Paul Kazaka, goes to court. I should make fun of the guy's name. He goes to court and he tells the judge, I'm not pressing charges. He's still being charged with the traffic violation, whatever that was. That's probably going to be a fine or some shit. An apology and a fine. But he said, I'm not charged with the magazine violation. Then he says, at a later time, I'm not charging anyone with the magazine violation. The law is being contested in court. Then he says, I'm not charging anyone with any Safe Act violation. Okay? This is called prosecutorial discretion. The prosecutor can drop charges against you. Okay? If you're doing domestic violence, or if you got your hands in the kid's pants, prosecutor's not going to drop the charges. But all that matters, he can do the charges. He can drop the charges. And he dropped the charges against this guy. And I wrote this gentleman a letter. And when I wrote him the letter, I deliberately mailed the stamp, the forever flags, the American flag stamp, Liberty Forever. I deliberately chose Freedom Forever. Now, this is our magazine from the New York State Rifle Pistol Association. I have from them, as courtesy, stickers with my return address on them. You know, the name and address. Okay, I get it with their logo on it. And I deliberately mailed that out. This is our official logo. That will be right in the corner of the envelope. Okay. And I wrote him a nice letter on the letterhead. Professional letter, dear blah blah blah. Mr. Kazakaka. Very short and sweet. I have written this letter on behalf of myself and all other legal firearms owners in the state of New York. Open parentheses. Or as Andrew Cuomo refers to us, quote, extremists who have no rights, close parentheses. The so-called SAFE Act is the most unconstitutional gun control law in parentheses, in quotation marks, in American history, period, uppercase letters. As an officer of the court, it is your duty to oppose the act at all costs. It's a welcome relief to see a public servant actually uphold their oath for a change. Every, uppercase letters, official who supports the SAFE Act has violated the oath they swore before God himself. The Second Amendment is not about deer hunting. The Second Amendment is not, uppercase letters, about deer. It is about defense. I thank you for your time. Sincerely, Vinny. If he writes back, I'll show his reply. Also, the Assembly is investigating Cuomo for the gun control law. Yes, the Assembly. They investigated him today. I don't know the results. Don't ask me, please. I sent an email via Facebook to a couple of assemblymen. One guy who's heading the committee, I couldn't email him on Facebook, but my old friend Steve McLaughlin and Bill Noj. Bill Noj is an assemblyman. I'm going to put a link down below his Facebook page, his YouTube page. You can like, favorite, and subscribe him. He is a co-plaintiff in our lawsuit. And Steve McLaughlin is also a staunch Second Amendment advocate. I'll put a link to him down below too. He had to argue with this guy 3 times on the friggin' SAFE Act. Also, the sheriffs. There are 50. Every sheriff in New York State, except maybe 3 or 4, wrote a letter to the court, and now they are officially on the lawsuit, the major lawsuit. Now, I said I cannot appear at the hearing today because I have work. And I'm not going to go to fucking Albany. It's like a 4-hour drive for me, I think. Okay, here's the little email. I can't speak at the hearing tomorrow, which is today. I wrote this last night. Because I have to work, and unlike Andrew Cuomo, my job actually makes a difference. I work part-time and live with my parents. My mother is 60 years old, and she has arthritis in her hands and knees. I forgot to mention she also has asthma. If she's home alone, she might not be able to change the magazine during an invasion. And the last thing on her mind will be needing 10 bullets to kill a deer. My father is 77 years old. He'll be 78 in July. He's a few years older than my mother. Yes, they were over 18 when they met, dirtbags. He suffered a stroke day before my 30th birthday. That was last year. He did make a full recovery, thank God, but he is still an old man. He can't run as fast or hit as hard. Magazine capacity might hinder him. I don't think my father can change a magazine out in time. Maybe 45 years ago he could have, but not now. He's getting old. If anyone wants to know how I feel about magazine capacity, they can break in and find out. I literally wrote this to fucking assembly. I'm not even joking when I say that. In closing, if this garbage is tolerated, I'll be moving out of the state by 2015. I am never giving up my arms. You're free to quote me now at any time.